Mrs. K. Jalakshmi, Assistant Professor, Department of Genetic Engineering, Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research, Chennai, 73. Handle the course name Cytogenetics. The course code is U18PCGE603. The topic is somatic cell hybridization. This is cell hybridization. So in this, we see about what is cell hybridization and history about the cell hybridization, more about somatic cell hybridization, mapping of genes by somatic cell hybridization, hybridoma technology, other applications of somatic cell hybridization, conclusions. First of all, we see about what is cell hybridization. So cell hybridization is the technique of hybrid production through the fusion of somatic cells under in vitro condition. We call it as somatic hybridization. The somatic hybridization involves the fusion of two different cells to produce a hybrid which is termed as heterokaryon. So what is heterokaryon? Is a somatic cell hybridization involves the fusion of two different cells to produce a hybrid. Okay. So next, the product of fusion was called homokaryon. So the product of fusion was called homokaryon if the two parental cells come from the same species. If the two parental cells come from the same species. You say this heterotypic cell fusion, you got a heterokaryon or binucleate heterokaryon. It's a picture. That's our creation of PC12 homokaryon. The cells were originally located at a distance of about 100 micron from each other. So by using the microelectrodes, they were placed next to each other. The cells were pre-treated with dielectrophoresis. So the A picture shows cells immediately after dielectrophoresis, and a close contact is visualized by the contact zone between the cells. So next we see about this history. So first of all, the in vitro somatic cell hybridization was first discovered by George Boxky in Paris in 1960. Boxky reported that cultures containing a mixture of two sublines of heteroploidy mouse cells were overgrown by new cell lines, the karyotype of which was the sum of two parental karyotypes. Next, the Liderberg 1958 and Pontecorvo in 1961 sensed the potential of this new approach. Efruzi conferred the validity of the observation by Boxky's group. So next, see more about somatic hybridization. So somatics, already we know about the definition of somatic cell hybridization. This somatic cell hybridization are of two types. First one is spontaneous hybridization and second one is induced hybridization. So first, the spontaneous hybridization is very rare. The induced hybridization is mediated by either chemically with polyethylene glycol, which affects the cell membrane, or with inactivated virus, for example, the Sendai virus. So this somatic cell hybridization are of two types. One is spontaneous, another one is induced hybridization. And next is This hybridization can either be performed between two same species, which is termed as interspecific. So what is interspecific? Nothing but hybridization can either be performed between two same species, which is termed as interspecific, or it can also be performed between two different species. We call it as intra-specific. So if the hybridization occur between the two same species, we call it as interspecific. If it occur between the two different species, we call it as intra-specific. So next we see about the somatic hybridization in animal cells. The somatic cells of different types can be fused to obtain hybrid cells. So these hybrid cells are useful in a variety of ways. So the why we want to do this animal somatic hybridization means the somatic cells of different types can be fused to obtain, we got it, a hybrid cells. These hybrid cells are useful in a variety of ways. For example, these hybrid cells for gene or chromosome, used in the case of gene or chromosome mapping, and also used for the production of monoclonal antibodies by producing hybridoma. So next, gene mapping by somatic cell hybridization. So the ability to distinguish each human chromosome is required to perform somatic cell hybridization, in which human and mouse or hamster cells are fused in culture to form a hybrid. So the fusion is usually mediated chemically with polyethylene glycol, which affects cell membrane, or with an inactivated virus. For example, the Sendai virus. This is able to fuse to more than one cell at the same time. So when the two cells fuse, their nuclei are at the first separate, forming a heterokaryon, a cell with nuclei from different sources. So first, the ability to distinguish each human chromosome is required to perform somatic cell hybridization, in which human and mouse cells are fused in the culture to form a hybrid. Then the fusion is usually mediated by either chemically with polyethylene glycol, which affect the cell membrane, or with inactivated virus, for example, Sendai virus. So that is able to fuse to more than one cell at the same time. So when the two cells fuse, their nuclei are the first separate, forming heterokaryon, a cell with a nuclei from different sources. So mapping of genes by somatic cell hybridization. First of all, the cell fusion occur. How to take the selection of hybrids, then the chromosome loss can get the chromosomal mapping. There is the outline of this mapping of genes by somatic cell hybridization. Then what is cell fusion? So the commonly used fusion agent for mapping of chromosome or Sendai virus, lysolecithin, liposomes, and polyethylene glycol. So the commonly used fusion agent is Sendai virus, lysolecithin, liposomes, and polyethylene glycol. So the most widely used fusion agent is Sendai virus, which is inactivated by UV light or beta-propiolactone. So the process of fusion by Sendai virus involves three stages. First one is the virus particle causes cell agglutination. Second stage is cytoplasmic bridges are formed between cells. Third stage is cytoplasmic bridges expand to form a spherical fused cell. So the process of fusion by Sendai virus involves three stages. First one is the virus particles cause cell agglutination. Second one is cytoplasmic bridges are formed between cells. Third stage is cytoplasmic bridges expand to form spherical fused cells. See the picture. Take the picture A to E. The expanders show the hybridization of mammalian cells induced by inactivated Sendai virus. The H denotes the human genome. R is a rodent genome. The first picture A, there is a binding of virus particle to two adjacent cells. B figure shows the fusion of the membrane of the virus with the membranes of both cells, creating a cytoplasmic bridge. And the third one is binucleated cell resulting from fusion. And the D that shows the at the first mitosis following cell fusion, chromosomes from both parent cells attached to a single mitotic spindle. And the E represent daughter cells contain one nucleus apiece, each of which has a chromosome from both parents. As a picture shows the hybridization of mammalian cells induced by inactivated Sendai virus. So Sendai virus mediated cell fusion. So microscopic observation. And next one is selection of hybrids. So in this, to isolate pure population of human mouse heterokaryon, a selection procedure is used that kills both the parental cells and the homokaryons, but allows the human mouse hybrid cells to survive and grow. So first you have to isolate the pure population of human mouse heterokaryon. A selection procedure is used that kills both the parental cells and the homokaryon, but allows the human mouse hybrid cells to survive and grow. So in this medium that contain a drug aminopterin, which blocks the de novo purine and pyrimidine biosynthetic pathways of cells. So however, the presence of hypoxanthine and thymidine, the cells can overcome the block by synthesizing their purines and pyrimidines using salvage pathways. So how to select the hybrid mean? First of all, you have to isolate the pure population of human mouse heterokaryon. Then the medium contain the drug aminopterin, which blocks the de novo purine and pyrimidine biosynthetic pathway of cells. However, the presence of hypoxanthine as well as the thymidine, the cells can overcome the block by synthesizing their purines and pyrimidines using salvage pathways. So see the figure. So A, you get the major DNA precursor. So go to this major pathway that blocked by aminopterin, produce a newly synthesized DNA, and the minor DNA precursor, it goes the salvage pathway that can use the HPRT and TK enzymes. It produces a newly synthesized DNA. And the B, HPRT TK minus HPRT TK plus, it produces a HPRT TK plus that dies. And the second one also dies. And the third one, that the cell fusion occur, then the nuclear fusion occur to produce that the HPRT TK plus cells are grown in a HAT medium. So this HAT medium is a hypoxanthine aminopterin thymidine medium, and this medium useful for the selection. This is a selective media, and the medium used for the mammalian cell culture. Okay, and in this medium, HAT medium, the growth and cell divisions are occur. And for cells to grow in HAT medium, two enzymes, the hypoxanthine guanine, phosphoribosyl transferase, and thymidine kinase must be functional. Then the mouse cell is deficient in TK minus, and a human cell is deficient in HGPRT. So you represent the HGPRT minus. So the heterokaryon has normal HGPRT gene derived from the mouse genome, and TK from gene from the human genome. So therefore only hybrid cells are grown in the HAT medium. And next one is chromosome loss in hybrid cells. So how it occurs means when hybrids are formed between rodent and human cells, human chromosomes are lost preferentially. So the loss of chromosome in interspecific hybrid was noted in fusion between mouse and rat cells, where chromosomes of rat were preferentially lost. So in rodent and human cell fusion, up to 95% of the human chromosome can be lost by the time the hybrids are initially isolated and their chromosomes analyzed. You see the karyotype of an UV resistant cell of mouse human cell hybrid. Next one is mapping strategies. Since the qualities of rodent human hybrids that make useful for human mapping are preferential loss of human chromosome in most cases, easy detection or unilateral loss of human phenotypes, and differentiation from their rodent counterpart. Next one is synteny testing. So this test is based on the premises that genes located on the same chromosome will be retained and lost concordantly from hybrid cells. So gene pairs or groups were determined to be synthetic by observing the pattern of retention and loss in a large number of independently derived hybrid cell line. So, however, this must be supported by chromosomal analysis to rule out of loss of pair of chromosome or extensive chromosome rearrangements that would obscure a proper synthetic relationship. There's a product A can be assigned to a chromosome 5. Product B can be assigned to chromosome 3. Product C is not on any of the chromosome 1 to 7. Now, product D can be assigned to chromosome 1. That's the assignment by selection. So the first assignment of genes to chromosome using rodent human hybrids relied on the ability to select for the gene. The assignment of the TK genes, the thymidine kinase gene, to the chromosome 17 was facilitated by isolation of radios which contained only chromosome 17 in common. The TK mouse cells were fused with the human cells in hat medium, and the hybrid cells were examined, and only the chromosome 17 was found to be common, which would be carrying the TK genes. To say this, the figure A does represent somatic cell hybridization to localize human TK genes. And the B is somatic cell hybridization to localize the human HPRT genes. Say this, the first one, the step 1, human and mouse cells are hybridized in culture. And the second step is the hybrid cells are grown on hat medium to select for the TK plus and HPRT plus genes. So during this time, human chromosomes are randomly lost from the hybrid cells. Step 3, in panel A, the selected cells carry the mouse HPRT plus gene and the human TK plus gene. So because human chromosome 17 is common to all selected cell lines, the human TK plus gene must be located on this chromosomes. And the step 4 is in the panel B, the selected cells carry the mouse TK plus gene and the human HPRT plus gene. Because the human X chromosome is common to all the selected cell lines, the human HPRT plus gene must be located on this chromosome. Next one is the basic hybridoma technology. So hybridomas are cells that have been engineered to produce a desired antibody in large amount to produce monoclonal antibody. So hybridoma cell is the cell that have been engineered to produce a desired antibody in large amount to produce monoclonal antibodies. So the monoclonal antibodies can be produced in specialized cells through a technique now properly known as hybridoma technology. So hybridoma technology was discovered in 1975 by two scientists named as George Gauchler and West Germany and Caesar Milstein of Argentina. This hybridoma technique, the figure shows that. So first you have to take the antigen and inject it to the rat cell and isolate the spleen cells and go for this hybridize, and you have to select this and clone the genes. Now you have to get the monoclonal antibody. So stages of the hybridoma technologies, the method developed by Kohler and Milstein involve 4 stages, which results in the production of hybrid lymphocytes with an infinite growth capacity and capable of continuous of a single antibody. So what are the stages being this? First one is immunization. Second stage is cell fusion. Third one is genetic selection. And fourth one is cell selection. First, see the first stage, immunization. As the first stage of production of hybridoma is to obtain lymphocytes from an animal that is enriched with specific antibody secreting cells. So the antibodies are synthesized by B lymphocytes, which can be isolated from the spleen of an immunized animal. And next method is, the next step is methods of fusion. The cell can be induced to fuse if 2 cell populations are brought close together at a high cell concentration in the presence of viruses or by a chemical agent. We call it as a fusogens. Okay, the process involves the destabilization of adjacent cell membrane, which eventually fuse to form a hybrid cells. So although UV inactivated Sendai virus were originally used as agent for cell fusion, the more widely used method is now fusion by the chemical agent polyethylene glycol. So this is a polymer available at a molecular weight range of 200 to 20,000 kilodalton. This is a production of monoclonal antibody. It's a hybridoma technique. So the fusion of myeloma cells with the immune spleen cells and selection of hybridoma cells. You can get a spleen cells for the PG fusion. You got the myeloma cells. The feeder cells grow in the grown media, and you can get the hybridoma cells. You can go for the ELISA plate and HAT medium. And first one is the plating of cells in HAT selection media and scanning of viable hybridoma. Next one is selectable gene markers for cell selection. So the process of cell fusion will result in a heterogeneous population of cells that will contain unfused parental cells, lysed cells, as well as the required hybrid cells. At this stage, cell selection is important so that the hybrid cells can be isolated from the mixture. So for hybridoma, there are 2 important stages of cell selection. First one is isolation of hybrid cells from a parental cell. Second one is selection of antibody secreting cells within the hybrid cell population. Then there is clonal selection of mob secreting hybridoma. So after genetic selection with HAT, the cell culture contain hybridomas, but only some of these will secrete antibodies. So the next stage involves the selection of mob secreting hybridomas from the population which has survived HAT treatment cell clones can be isolated by the method of limiting dilution. So the cloning ensures that all cells selected for future culture are genetically identical. Then other application of somatic cell hybridization. So first one is somatic hybridization has helped to study the cytoplasmic genes and their function. So in fact, the information is successfully used in plant breeding programs. And the second application is protoplast fusion, which will help in combination of mitochondria and chloroplast to result in a unique nuclear cytoplasmic genetic combination. And the third application is somatic hybridization can be done in plants that are still in juvenile phase. And the fourth one is protoplast transformation with trials like nitrogen fixation by incorporating exogenous DNA, followed by somatic hybridization will yield innovative plants. We concluded that the somatic cell hybridization is the process of fusion which takes place between two somatic cells. So the somatic cell hybridization is usually done between mouse and human cells, but many other intraspecific or interspecific hybridization can be done. So it is widely used for the production of monoclonal antibodies and for the gene mapping of human chromosomes. So even though this presentation specifies on animal cells, this process can be used for plant cell hybridization. So again, we recap this basic hybridoma technology. Hybridomas are cells that have been engineered to produce a desired antibody in large amount to produce monoclonal antibodies. Monoclonal antibodies can be produced in a specialized cell through a technique now popularly known as hybridoma technology. Hybridoma technology was first discovered in 1975 by two scientists, Georges Scholar of West Germany and Cesar Milston of Argentina. This is a picture of how the monoclonal antibodies are produced. So what are the stages behind this hybridoma techniques? So the method developed by Kohler and Milston involved 4 stages which result in the production of hybridoma lymphocytes within an infinite growth capacity and capable of continuous of a single antibody. So the stages of this process are shown: immunization, cell fusion, genetic selection, cell selection. So first say about the immunization. The first stage of production of hybridoma is to obtain lymphocytes from an animal that is enriched with specific antibody secreting cells. Antibodies are synthesized by B lymphocytes, which can be isolated from the spleen of an immunized animals. So next is this method of fusion. The cell can be induced to fuse if two cell populations are brought close together at high cell concentration in the presence of viruses by chemical agents called fusogens. The process involves the destabilization of adjacent cell membrane, which eventually fuse to form a hybrid cells. Although UV inactivated Sendai viruses were originally used as agent for cell fusion, the more widely used method is now fusion by chemical agent polyethylene glycol. So this is a polymer available at low molecular weight, range of 200 to 20,000 kilobase Dalton. So this is a production of monoclonal antibody by hybridoma technology. So fusion of myeloma cells with immune spleen cells and selection of fibroma cells. You can get this, the plating of the feeder cells, growth medium. So plating of cells in at selective medium, scanning for viable hybridomas. Then the selectable gene marker for cell selection. So the process of cell fusion will result in a heterogeneous population of cells that will contain unfused parental cell like cells as well as the required hybrid cells. At this stage, cell selection is important so that the hybrid cells can be isolated from the mixture. So for hybridomas, there are 2 important stages of cell selection: isolation of hybrid cells from parental cell, selection of antibody secreting cells within the hybrid population. Then the clonal selection of MAB secreting hybridomas. So after genetic selection with had the culture contains hybridomas, but only some of these will secrete antibodies. The next stage involves selection of mob secreting hybridomas from the population which has survived had treatment cell clones can be isolated by the method of limiting dilution. The cloning ensures that all cells selected for future cultures are genetically identical. Apart from that, the other application is already told us the somatic hybridization has helped to study the cytoplasmic genes and their function. In fact, the information is successfully used in plant breeding program. The protoplast fusion will help in the combination of mitochondria and chloroplast to result in a unique nuclear cytoplasmic genetic combination. The somatic hybridization can be done in plants that are still in juvenile phase. The protoplast transformation with the trait-like nitrogen fixation by incorporating exogenous DNA followed by somatic hybridization will yield innovative plants. So we concluded that somatic cell hybridization is a process of fusion takes place between the two somatic cells and is widely used for the production of monoclonal antibody. And even though the presentation specific on animal cell, this process can be used for cell hybridization.